let's turn to alternative assets gaining more traction, and we're going to take a deep dive into the world of life sciences. Frank Hu is the founder and CEO of Ali Bridge Group, a global healthcare investment manager focused on high-impact life science innovation, addressing unmet medical needs. My colleague Juliet Saleh sat down with Frank and started by asking him what investing in life sciences entails.
Yeah, life science is very much of a science-based healthcare technologies, whether it's medical devices, equipment, or medicines, right? And also in recent years, we also see a lot of activities in digital health, big data, AI-driven drug discovery, and also tools and diagnostics. Whether it's molecular tests. Whether those technologies, instruments used in the lab in the manufacturing of pharmaceuticals. Yeah, so that's basically the scope of life sciences vis-a-vis healthcare services, hospitals, clinics. Yeah.
And what are some of the most interesting trends and developments you're seeing at the moment?
I think there's several things. I think number one is the fundamental aging population around the world. And in the meantime is wealth creation. So when you have an aging population, more and more diseases occur and reoccur. And then at the same time, you have more and more money to pay for, right? And in the meantime, you've got so many life science innovations coming on stream. And so that's a confluence of all the drivers of innovations and commercialization of these innovations.
So you split your time between Europe and the US. What brings you to Australia, and what have you been doing here? Have you been meeting with clients? What's the sort of mood on the ground?
I think number one, it's hard not to like Australia. Number two, yes, over the years, we've got a great investor base in Australia, very sophisticated and very well educated, and very open and very eager to get involved in some of the most innovative life sciences companies in the world, and most of which are in the US.
And for anybody interested in investing in this path, can you just explain how you actually help returns, how you make money?
I think number one, you really have to know what you're doing and to know what you don't know, and find as many experts you can find to help you. This is a extremely science-driven business. And yet, it is also very financing and merger acquisition driven business. Therefore, we need to have a team that have all those skills, from scientific capabilities to clinical know-how and experience, and to finance, as well as merger acquisition deal making capabilities and experience.
On that front, on M&As, a lot of people saying 2024 could be a good year for M&A because we are starting to see a stabilisation and perhaps a drop in interest rates as well. What's your view on the overall macro environment and how this could be helping investors?
That's a great question. In fact, over the past 14 months, we've already seen $150 billion US dollars spent on acquisitions by big pharma companies. And we and our team have been very much involved in that big wave merger acquisitions, mainly driven by the absolute need of the big pharma companies to replenish their drug pipeline, many of which whose patents are expiring over the next several years. So we've seen that a big wave, $150 billion over the past 14 months.
And you expect that could grow even further?
I think the trend continues for the next several years. I mean, I cannot predict this is going to be a 200 or 300 billion, but it's a big amount.
When you look at the differences between what you see in Europe, the Europe market, and the US market, how does Australia compare?
I think Australia has huge wealth, and you got a very, very well educated population. So that's why our investor base is very sophisticated. And then some of them are really keen to get involved in some of the most innovative life science technologies, and most of which are in the US. But of course, other parts of the world continue with their own innovation drive, and really catching up to the dominance of the United States.
Alternative investments are certainly something that a lot of sophisticated investors are looking at a lot more closely now. What sort of trends have you seen in the last couple of years, and how do you expect this space to evolve?
Yeah, so alternative investment class could be very long term, right? But I would say with the acceleration of the M&A trends in our business, we see time to exit being accelerated, and that's exactly what we're taking advantage of.
We talked about the macro picture. I mean, there is a lot of expectation and speculation as to when the US central bank is going to start to cut rates. I know you're not an economist, I don't need your view on that, but just how that could change the overall investing landscape once that occurs.
Several points. I think number one, our business is extremely sensitive, has proven to be extremely sensitive to super high interest rate hikes, which were unprecedented in recent history. And the second, however, over the past 2 years, the market, investors have already adjusted themselves to this new reality. And then many of the things have been priced in. And going forward, looking forward, we're not betting on when exactly they're going to cut rates. I think sooner or later they will have to cut rates, but we're actually not betting on that. And we just focus on best-in-class assets, which will do well no matter what interest rate cycle we're in.
So you're positive for a good 2024?
We have to be positive. It's that's what we do for our living.
Right.
And whether the macro environment is good or not, we have to make our business work.